Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the VW T4 5-cylinder diesel and timing them up. They're a little bit difficult to do these because they are mechanically timed and electrically timed. So this will be covering all the fly-by-wire cars. Some of the earlier ones are just done mechanically, but the later cars have an electronic pump, and are quite sophisticated. So you will need a copy of VCDS. I think you can use VCDS, the free version, VCDS Lite. You'll also need a dial gauge. So I'm going to flip the camera around and show you what the engine looks like and what you'll need to do to time up the pump. I will briefly cover the cam belt timing, but the cam belt on this engine is already together. I might make a video on a later date about doing cam belt on one. If you do the cam belt, you will have to disrupt the pump timing. So, but if I did a cam belt video, I just wouldn't have time to do a cam belt video and a fuel pump video. So I'm just going to do one on the fuel pump timing, and hopefully that will be good enough, because that's the tricky bit. The cam belt is difficult, but fairly straightforward. Okay, so this is a 5-cylinder inline 5 diesel engine with a mechanical pump, but these are electrically controlled mechanical pumps, and they run 2 cam belts. I'm briefly going to take you through the cam belt timing, and we have a fully floating pulley at the end here. To make these floating, you undo the bolt and you put a punch through here. But I'm going to assume that the cam timing is correct. It is important to do something when you are checking the pump timing. You need to come around here and look through the bell housing at the timing mark. It is very difficult to see. I've got some nail varnish on this to make the top dead center mark more visible. So that's top dead center. We're going to be dealing with the pump timing to top dead center. You need these 2 lobes facing up on the camshaft. If you have one lobe facing down like this, if the lobes are facing down like they are on cylinder 5, then that's no good. So it needs to be number 1 cylinder, top dead center. That's quite important because I timed up one of these 180 degrees out once, because don't forget the camshaft and the fuel pump spin at half crankshaft speed. So for every 2 turns of the crank, the camshaft turns once. So if you time one of these up and it doesn't start, the chances are you've got the timing 180 degrees out. Won't do any damage, but it will just make you look like an idiot. I've done it once, so learn from my mistake. Don't make it your mistake. So the first thing to do is to turn it over top dead center, and then we loosen this bolt, and this is a floating pulley, and we're just going to double check the cam timing, and this will also confirm that it's number 1 cylinder, top dead center. So we put the cam timing bar in. Okay, so we've got the cam timing bar in. There should be an equal gap between the top and the bottom. You put feeler gauges in. So we're double checked. We're at number 1 cylinder, top dead center. The cam timing is not out, because obviously if the cam timing is out, as I say, this pulley is fully floating, then it won't run very well. But we're actually just timing the pump up. All the computer cares about is the timing of the crankshaft to the fuel pump. So we can pop this pulley back on now. Put the belt on the pulley. We're going to put the bolt in loosely, so it's tight, slightly loose. This will enable us to set the belt tension correctly. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set the belt tension, and you can set the belt tension, and the first thing you want to do is you want to align the rear tensioner. So this is the rear tensioner, and there's a pointer on it here, and this needs to line up roughly with that bit of casting in the head. So you do that up, and we torque this nut up, and then we're going to tension the belt using the Allen key slot here, and we're going to torque that up. And once that's done, that's the belt tension set correctly. Now, for adjustments with VCDS, we just move this pulley. This is its initial position. So we're going to tighten that up, and we're going to tension that now, and then we're going to lock the pump up. Okay, so I've tightened this rear nut up to 20 Newton meters, aligned the pointer roughly with the casting here, because we might have to adjust that later. The tang is in here, and I'm now going to tighten this up. You've got to make sure this top pulley is still floating. The belt needs to be able to move, and we're just going to line it up so these pointers align, and then you can do this nut up. And there we are, pointers are still aligned, and now we just torque the bolt up. Okay, so we're going to tighten this bolt up now to 15 Newton meters. Great. So pointers are aligned. This is aligned here. This is torqued to 20. This is torqued to 15. Top bolt is loose, and the belt can move freely still. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to time up the fuel pump. Now, I've painted a mark on the pulley here in red. There is a very, very, very small line, very small indent there. This needs to roughly line up with the indent here. Now I can move the timing, even though this is tension, I can actually move this because the top pulley there is floating. So we're going to lock this pump up, and we're going to set the preload on the pump, and then with the crankshaft at number 1 cylinder top dead center, we can tighten this bolt up, and that will set the pump timing. It will set the timing hopefully completely perfectly, but we can check that in VCDS. Right, to lock the pump up, first of all, in the end of the pump here, there is a 12mm headed plug. This plug here, 12mm head, you take that out. Next thing you do is you screw in this adapter, which will come in the DTI kit. You just get the cheap one on eBay, that will work fine. Now I've got this rod that extends it out, so you screw that in to the pump. So inside the pump there is a pin that rises, and we're going to measure the amount of lift on that pin using this dial gauge. So when you press up on the dial gauge, it goes up and down. So this goes into the end of the pump. So from underneath the vehicle we should see something like this, and we want to adjust it out so we get about 2mm of preload. So we have 2mm of preload on this little gauge, and I've zeroed out the big gauge. This is fully inserted, and this is clamping the dial gauge in place. Now you can see if you move the pump, the reading will change. So we're at top dead center of the pump. You want to make sure by moving the pulley here, you've definitely got top dead center. And correct the 0 point if necessary. What we're now going to do is lock the pump up. So I've removed this shim here, and this is the locking bolt. Don't lose that shim, and if I screw this in, it will lock the pump up. If I unscrew it, it will unlock the pump. It's just a 10mm headed bolt. And what we're going to do is we're going to preload the pump, and you will need to turn anti-clockwise with a tool. Okay, so I've turned the belt pulley in the direction of rotation, so that's anti-clockwise at this end, which has in turn turned the pump pulley. It has turned it, so there's 0.55mm of preload. I've then screwed this screw in, and this pulley is now locked. The whole pump is locked. So I can double check my timing. belt tension marks, that's still there, fine. And I can come around and I can double check, still top dead centre. Right, so I've set 0.5mm of preload on the pump. I've locked it at 0.5mm by tightening the bolt up to 30 Newton meters. This pump is locked solid. The engine is precisely at top dead centre. We've checked it's at cylinder 1, both lobes are facing up on cylinder 1. This is tight at 20, this is tight at 15. I now need to do this up to 160. So obviously you don't want to put any load through the belt or the pump, so you need a counter holding tool. So the only last thing left to do is to unlock the pump, take the dial gauge out, put the plug in, and put the shim back in the pump, and then turn it over twice and check this lines up. Here we can see the locking plate, the locking bolt with the plate in its correct place, which enables the belt to turn and the pump to turn. I've placed the plug in the end here, I've put the plate back in underneath, and I've set the bolt to 12 Newton meters. So I'm going to turn the engine over twice now, and we'll double check the tension here. And the tension is still within this metal tab, so that's fine. So next thing to do is put the rocker cover back on, airbox on, and all of the radiator and stuff, and warm the engine up and check it with VCDS. Right, so we have the engine back together and I've warmed it up to temperature, and this should enable us to check the timing. It's running lovely, no leaks, and you can actually see down here that the timing tension is fine. Now I have got the fans off, so I'm being slightly mindful of making sure it doesn't overheat. And for that it does need to be at temperature, which it is. And I'm going to use the VW timing checker tool to check the timing. So we go into repair group 0 and we switch to basic settings. And this is an AJT, so we select the engine type down here as AJT, and we can do cloud here and plot the timing. What you'll see is it's just in spec, but it's on the too retarded side, so slightly annoying for me, but good for you, because I can see, I can do a video explaining how to adjust it. So down here you can see the nut and the adjusting roller, and it's this is what we turn to adjust the timing ever so slightly off the fuel pump. So what I've done is I have put an Allen key, I've loosened the nut ever so slightly, I've put an Allen key in and I've moved ever so slightly anti-clockwise. Again, I've moved it slightly clockwise, and here we go. Timing dead on. So we plot the cloud here. It's dead on. I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, well within the control range of what the ECU on the pump can adjust for, so I'm happy with that. If I try and fiddle around with it anymore, it'll probably go wrong. So I'm just going to tighten. I'm going to tighten the nut up to 20 Newton meters again, and put the front panel back together, and that's the job all done.